Hello, beautiful people. I hope y'all are having a beautiful life. I'm tired of shit. I need to go back to sleep. Seems like every time I get up to go to the bathroom, then I'll be wanting something. But as soon as I eat this, I'm gonna tell y'all what I got on here for. I haven't had an orange in such a long time. I've been eating a lot of mandarins. I love mandarins and tangerines. Although I haven't seen any tangerines in the store. Which they taste pretty much like a mandarin to me. I would love to eat one, a mandarin and a tangerine, to see what's the difference. I'm trying to see if that piece was. Sorry, I ain't want to be rude. I spit that piece out. That was the top part. Anyway. So, what I got on here for? Looking a hot mess. So, I just want y'all to understand the realization of a point in my spiritual journey that I had about people in my life that were a narcissist. And one in particular, there was a point in my spiritual journey that I learned about toxicity. I learned about narcissists because I didn't even know. I had never heard of a narcissist. I didn't know the word. I didn't know. I learned, not when I tell y'all, like I've been saying since the beginning of my videos, when I tell you I've literally taught myself everything, I've taught myself everything. God has directed me to it. Of course, all glory be to God. Because God put those things in front of me, or those resources, or that education, or those people, individuals, movies, books, whatever it was that I learned, the things that I know, to identify that's what I'm going through. Because otherwise I would not have been able to express what I was going through. I would have just been going through things and not understanding them. And what is this? Why is this? And, but God always provided. I love you so much, Lord. I just love God so much, y'all. I swear, I just love God so much through it all. It's the one thing that remains, never left my side. So, I think that I fought so hard in a relationship, of one of my relationships that I had, because I wanted, it was almost, it's so weird, it's gonna sound weird, it was almost to prove to people like God can cure narcissists, because my faith in God is so strong, and I'm just like, well, God, you all and everything, and you creator of all and everything, and you can do anything. And I wanted to watch God do it. But every time I would turn on something or read something or hear something about narcissistic people, individuals, it would be, they can't change. They need psychological help. Now, that is true. The psychological part is true. The spirit in them, which is demonic, is true. I hear some people on YouTube that stuff will pop up and say that a narcissist, it don't have a demon in them, it has something else. Now, boo, let me tell you from experience, honey, this is not something. What I'm gonna say is, because I'm about to get sidetracked, because I want to stay, I'm gonna go back. It's true, they do have demons. I don't know about every narcissist, but the one that I had close experience with, I promise y'all, this the God honest truth. And, you know, take it, leave it. You ain't gotta believe me. For those who know I'm true, from my heart and soul, the words that I speak out my mouth, then you'll know that I'm telling the truth. For y'all who, you know, skeptical, they, hey, go to God with it. Say, is this woman telling the truth? If you don't want to do that, don't matter. I don't care. I'm going to still say it. I never forget, one day this person was sleeping. And the sounds that was coming out of this person sounded so demonic. They had this laugh in their sleep. And I told them about it. I sure did. It was like, and this was a woman. And the sounds was coming out of them sound like a whole man demon. Like, and like when they awake, they don't laugh like that. They don't sound anything like that. Their laugh is not like that. Their laugh is very feminine. So, you know, but God showed me. God literally brought my attention to it. So when they laugh, it was like, first before they laugh, it was like, and it was way more deeper. And it was like, I can't duplicate it. It was just so demonic. It's so like deep voice, just, you know. And I got scared. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, the fuck? I'm with a demon? And God literally told me, this is, I swear, God know I'm telling the truth. God said, do not be afraid. God said, remember when you were possessed? Because I told y'all before, if y'all look at my videos, I was possessed when I was about 18 years old. I was going through a lot. I had been raped. I had been molested. I had been through a lot of stuff. And I was married to my son's father. And the only reason why I got married because I was going to church and they was talking about that I need to marry men, leave women alone, because I'm an abomination of God. And that's the only reason why I married him. I'm not going to lie. I cared deeply about him. I loved him as a person. But I truly just wasn't in love with him and no other man. You know, and, you know, truth be told, after something he did in our relationship, this is a sidetrack, something he did in our relationship that really hurt me. Instead of him understanding that his wife had been raped and I needed care and love and somebody to stand by my side to say, come on, baby, let's go get you some help or something. He wanted sex. That's the all thing he was thinking about. That's all he wanted. It's like, fuck what I said. And when he did something to me, that was a wrap. That was a wrap. That was a wrap for me, because he proved to me all men were the same. And then when he did what he did, I got so upset. This guy, this side note, y'all, I'm gonna go back to what I'm getting to. This guy that was my sweetheart love since we were in middle school. I want to make sure, yeah, middle school. And I'm trying to think if I knew him in elementary. Well, no, it was middle school. He did not want me to marry my son's father, because we had this love for each other, you know, since we were younger. And he was Jehovah's Witness, so he didn't, you know, he was a virgin, and at the time I was a virgin, and we were both scared. And it was just, anyway, I'm going too far with what I'm trying to say. Lord. So it's so crazy how I don't even know if it was the devil. I can't tell you how this boy ended up calling me. I had put my son's father, which was my husband at the time at 18, I had put him out after he did a particular act. And this boy ended up calling me and ended up I don't think I knew it at the time. I don't even remember because it's been so long ago. Stayed in the same area, literally like I could walk to his apartments if I wanted to. Called me while my husband at the time I had put him out. He went back to his mama house, and the guy called me and asked me could he come over. I was hurt and scorned, all of this stuff, thinking maybe I should have just been with that guy, right? Because in my mind, I'm just like, am I doing the wrong thing? If I am an abomination guy, I should be with a man. Just all these things, in my brain at 18 with a young baby. And I let this dude come over to my house. And this nigga just like every other nigga. And I'm gonna leave it there. All right. So now why did I go into that? How did I don't even remember. I have to look back at this video how I went from narcissist to talking about that. Because I don't even know I don't know what I was talking about that made me go to that part. But I'll have to look back and see how that was flowing. But back to the narcissist. I wanted God to prove to me, like, you all power. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be testing God. I'll be wanting to be like, okay, God, how much you all and everything, what kind of power we talking about? You all and everything, you can do anything. Like, that'd be my faith in God. Like, you can do anything. Like, in my mind, you can do anything. And so I know why. Thank you, Lord. Look at you helping me. What connected what? Okay, so yeah, I got why I connected those two. Talking about the person I was with that was, thank you, Lord, that was, that had a demon in them. That's a demon. And how I was possessed when I was 18. I was possessed at 18 with I had an experience, church people, long story short, I was hurting. I was with my son's father. We had this church service at our apartment, and the pastor was rebuking the demon. And I can remember hearing the deep voice in me at that time, and it said his name. It was some type of, I don't know what kind of Hebrew name. I don't know what kind of name it was, honey. I don't even remember. And if I did, I wouldn't even want to speak it because I don't want it to come back. I don't want to think, But I can remember it saying that it loved me. Child. And I can remember going to this spiritual retreat, when I really started my spiritual journey. And my different teachers had their different ways of, healing. And this one lady, she had a dog. And the dog can see, like, if you had an attachment, if you had, what I used to call the monster in you. And that dog barked at me. My God, that dog barked at me, and I'm looking like, what does that mean? So I figured out what it meant. Because she had me go through this practice, and she said, do you see the shadow? And I was like, yeah, I saw the shadow in the spirit. And she's like, ask it to leave. And I almost want to fucking cry. Damn. I saw it leave. The thing that I called the monster. The demon. And like, I literally saw it leave it and turn around like it wanted to come back. Like it wanted to be back attached to me. You hear me? Like it did not want to leave. And I had that monster for so long that it was like saying goodbye to it. Because it was the thing that if motherfucker can't fuck with me, baby, I'm telling you, like, that damn demon that was attached to me, honey, then it would just take control. If a motherfucker try to fuck with me, mess with me, try to harm me any kind of way, honey, it would come out. And I would literally be taking the back seat. I wouldn't even know what was going on till it's after it had finished, and then in a sense I awakened and looked around and like, what the fuck? What happened? What? I had no clue. I had no clue of what the fuck it did. Like literally, the shit it exists. Some blackouts, that shit is real. Anyway, so God showed me that. Did I know that one of my exes was a demon? Yes. And did I stay? Yeah. I even told him, I guess I'm in love with a demon. I literally told him that. That's how much love I had for them and believed in them that they could change. Because I knew what I went through. I wasn't trying to judge them. I'm just like, you can conquer this shit. Because I did. At 18, I conquered it. Shit, it took me actually longer than that, because even though they rebuked the devil, then it took me up until when I went to the retreat, and I was like in my 30s. I had to be like 38, 39, 40, like maybe 40. Let me think. 40, 41. 41. Yep, 41. And I said goodbye to that demon, because I call it the monster. And this was a monster that was in me since a child. Because I saw my dad hit my mama. And my mama looked me right in my eyes. And I had to be about 4 years old. And something went in me. Literally, I felt it go in me. And in that moment, I told myself, if he's still beating on my mama when I'm big enough, I'm going to end his ass. That's whatever went in me, not whatever the fuck, when that spirit went in me, that demonic spirit went in me, that's what I was thinking. Because I had an outlook in life of, I got brothers. They supposed to, protect me, and they supposed to do this, and that's not true, y'all. Y'all gotta stop giving men all that damn. First of all, the weight, putting all of it on them. Man, just because a man is a man don't mean that he's supposed to, take the weight and protect and do all of that. You know what I'm saying? You got just as much power as a man does. You got to stop limiting yourself as a woman because you're considered a woman. You got to take that projection off of you that the world has put on you as if you being a woman is you weak and you need a man for everything. No, you better get out there and learn how to change the motherfucking tires and shit, because you're going to be sitting up there waiting on a man to come change the tires, sitting in the fucking dark, and then somebody can come along and snatch your ass up and you ain't going to be able to be found no more. Stop acting like you can't do shit for yourself. I don't give a fuck if you princess, prissy, whatever. The fuck? An independent, educated woman who educates herself how to take care of herself on all levels. And if a man's there and he wants to do it and you allow it, then that's fine. But it doesn't mean that you can't do it for yourself. I always say I don't understand women who, want to be housewives and their husband is the breadwinner and they don't do shit. Because if that man never leave you, now you got to figure out what kind of fucking job you going to get. When was the last time you had a job? What you going to put on your resume? How long ago did you work? It's going to be harder for you to take care of yourself. You're going to be looking for family and friends to go lay on their couch or some shit. It's like some women, they, stack their money on the side while their husband give it, to them. Okay, how much money we stacking for the rest of your life to take care of you and your well-being? Especially if you done cheated on you and found somebody new. That woman ain't gonna let you just get over and do the most, baby. She gonna give your ass a running court. Cause now she the upgrade in his mind. So anyway, yeah, I knew that she was. I knew one of my exes was possessed or was a full demon. And not only did I experience that with her, I literally saw her do weird shit, like call me out my room. I open the door. She's standing in the fucking dark in the front of her damn doorway of her bedroom, just standing there looking at a fucking wall. Just what? And I'm looking, it's pitch dark in our house. She's standing in the doorway, just fucking looking at a wall, and then just turn around and say, never mind. Or let's talk about the times that the time she knocked on my door and I had my door locked, because God was urging me to, do not leave my door unlocked, my bedroom door unlocked, because she up to something that, was no good. And she had a demon in her. And she knocked on my door one night. And I sensed that I should not open the door. So I was laying down, I was like, okay, hold on. So I'm getting up. And then she said, never mind. God said she was up to no good. God said he protected me from her. And then the time that I have a picture of her, and you could see in the picture, like, she don't look like what she really looked like on the outside physically. Like, you could see like this skeleton looking, like something in her, this skeleton face and these teeth that look totally different from her teeth. It's weird. I look back at the picture several times during the moments that, we were together after. And I'll just be staring at it. And then there have been times where she's taken a picture that I have. And God, told me to zoom in close to her eyes, and you could see like this reptilian eye behind the black eye. Like literally it's a whole nother eye. And it's a reptilian eye. And then one day we was on the phone, the last times that I was talking to her, and her fucking eyes turned gold. Like around the black part, they turned gold, and just the evil stuff that she was doing, like I still be not understanding, like even when I hear readings, people like saying your person, I'll be like, y'all stop saying my person. That's not my person, and I get why they say it, because they're trying to identify, so they're trying to identify that who they're talking about, and they're trying to say, well, that was your person that God gave you, but that person didn't choose to heal themselves and love themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just like in my mind, like, okay, well, they didn't heal themselves, and they did pick what path they wanted, and they're a full-blown narcissist that does not want to change. So that's not my person, and nor do I want them to ever be my person, because the only thing that I learned from them, and I felt like I was cheated out of my journey a lot, because I felt my soul felt like, they were supposed to be a teacher to me and I was supposed to be a teacher to them. The only thing that I learned from this person, because they didn't teach me shit, like intentionally teach me shit. And I could tell they knew a lot of stuff. I could tell they knew a lot of stuff. I could tell they withheld a lot of shit. And I was like, whatever. And the only thing I learned is, because they treated me like pure D shit, how never to let anybody else treat me like that. And how all that me cutting for them, trying to stand up for them and help them, don't ever give that kind of power away to somebody. That's my power. How do I cut for myself? How do the fuck I stand up for myself? All the love and all of the love that I poured into them, don't never give all my love away. If my cup is empty, the fuck that means that the fuck I ain't gave myself shit. The love that I have, I didn't pour it out on them, and that motherfucker didn't pour shit back into my cup. Motherfucker kept drinking. Didn't give a fuck if I was dry. I learned to never pour my cup out. Get the overflow, and the overflow is constant because God gives me the overflow. But keep my cup full for myself. That's what I learned. So even though they didn't intentionally try to teach me that, because they were being their demonic self, That's the only thing that I learned from them, how to not allow people to treat me. You know, if somebody can't accept me for me and they think I'm weird, then fuck them. I don't need those kind of people in my life. I don't need nobody to come in my life to try to bring me down, lie to me, manipulate me, take advantage of me. I catch it now. I really believe that I'm going to be able to see right through a motherfucker. And I'm going to go ahead on and dismiss myself right there because, okay, so you've been sent by the devil. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I learned. God uses everything. Guys, you know, I feel like God was like, okay, they don't want to give the information to my child. They don't want to be in a partnership. This contract they signed to be with my child. They want to down my child. They want to do all this. Okay, I'm still gonna let my child learn something from them, even though they not trying to teach my child this intentionally. So I learned how not to be treated. And I'm thankful for God for that. I give them no credit. At one point, I gave them credit for shit. I look back at that. They didn't do that shit to teach me shit. They did that because that was who they were. And I feel like I was willing to stoop down to such a level to tell them, you know, I guess I'm in love with a demon. I literally said that to them. I used to say stuff to them like, well, I'm talking to the demon in you. They didn't like that. You know, they didn't like the truth. This person, you want to know this person demonic and this person a narcissist? Start telling them shit about themselves. You're going to see their shit crumble. Start telling them like you're really not that great of a person. And be truthful. The truth is what fuck them up. You're really not that great of a person. You know, you destroy relationships. Watch how that motherfucker don't like it. That motherfucker gonna be depressed or snap or something. Cause they don't want you, they want you to think highly of them. They're willing to do whatever for family and friends to see them in a certain light. You know, and if they get caught, they're gonna make up another lie on top of another lie on top of another lie, just so people can see them in the light that they want to be seen in. So saying all to say, I wanted God to show me, you God of all God, you creator of everything. Why people keep on saying that God can't, you know, cure narcissists? And I've seen, you know, this guy on YouTube. I've actually seen two guys on YouTube, you know, who talk about them being a narcissist. But I can't remember if either one of them even talks about God. I know one particular one can't. The one particular one has not. The other one, I think he's acknowledged God. I don't remember him saying that God is who delivered him. I know the other one, he goes to, you know, he has a therapist and stuff, you know, and he's admitted that he's a narcissist. So he teaches people, women, how to identify narcissists and how to overcome and what not to do, which I am so proud of him. The other guy, I only seen him like once or twice. I don't think he mentions God. I don't. You know, because I just was like, you know, come on, God, show him wrong on YouTube, because I just kept hearing God, you know, God cannot cure narcissists. I can't remember the words that they used, but it was like, you know, basically God can't do nothing with narcissists. I'm like, the shit he can't, you know, in my mind, why you don't know God, you don't know God, you know. And God said to me, and I'm hearing him say it now, God respects people's will. Anyone can change. So it's not true that a narcissist cannot change their life and not surrender to God, but they have to want to give their life over to God. They have to give their free will to God and say, God, change me, make me new, you know, give me my soul, you know, deliver me from these demonic spirits, change me, oh Lord, you know, and have to mean that and want it for themselves. God said he could do all and everything, but he respects everyone's free will. I was like, don't tell me what my God can't do. He can do deliver my ass. And I don't know if I was a narcissist then, because I didn't even know the word narcissist. For me, maybe I had narcissist tendencies. But my heart has always been the same. Wanting people to win, wanting good things for people, wanting to experience love, wanting to give love. So I don't think that I was no narcissist. Like I said, I probably had narcissist tendency. I wouldn't doubt that. But my heart has been the same heart. It's changed. It's changed now as my older age. I don't see the world the way I used to. I don't just want to pour here world, here's my heart. I love y'all. You can do it. You can change. And realize that no, bitch, they can change. They don't all want to. And you can't do anything about that. You cannot force your will on anybody. You cannot make people change. You cannot force people to see that it's a better way. Bitch, you can't do it. They got their own free will. Stop forcing your shit on their shit. Because they got their own shit that they want to do. That's who they want to be. You got to respect it. Okay, I say I respect it, but why they shit got to come fuck with my shit then? If I don't force my shit on them, why the fuck they forcing their shit on me? How is that fair? That shit don't make sense to me. All right. All right, it's 222. Is it 22? No, 233 on the timer. Okay. All right, y'all. I just wanted to share that about narcissistic behavior, narcissistic individuals, narcissism.